Good morning, and thank you for joining us here this morning. My name is Tim Greimel. I'm the House Democratic Leader. I'm joined by the Vice Chairwoman of the House Insurance Committee, Cait Siegel. I'm also joined by State Representative Tom Cochran, who is a member of the Insurance Committee, State Representative Teresa Abbott, who's also a member of the Insurance Committee, as well as State Representative Sam Singh and State Representative Andy Shore. On behalf of our entire House Democratic Caucus, we are here to announce our vehement disapproval of House Bill 4612, the proposed changes to auto no-fault insurance. We're here because the legislative Republican leadership is once again attempting to give huge giveaways to big corporations at the expense of middle-class families. This time, they are favoring insurance companies over victims of catastrophic accidents. Unlike some of our Republican colleagues, we in the House Democratic Caucus believe in putting people before profits. And that is why we in the House Democratic Caucus voted unanimously yesterday to take a united caucus position against this ill-advised proposal to change auto no-fault. I also want to note that it was very telling yesterday when the chair of the House Insurance Committee announced, "Welcome to the House Insurance Company," instead of committee. I'm sure that that is simply a slip of the tongue, but it certainly reflects an attitude about who the House Republicans feel that they're here representing and who they're here doing the business of. They're here doing the business and doing the work of insurance companies, not of the people of Michigan. And to tell you more about the specifics of this bill and why we House Democrats oppose it is the Democratic Vice Chairwoman of the Insurance Committee, Representative Cait Siegel. And after she speaks, we're also very honored to be joined by Brian, who has been in a catastrophic auto accident and will also be sharing some words with all of you. Representative Segal?
Thank you. Thank you, Leader Greimel. House Bill 4612 is going to make significant changes to the benefits that survivors of catastrophic auto accidents receive in our state. If passed, this bill would reduce the amount of personal protection insurance coverage available to each and every one of us in a car accident to only $1 million. It would also limit the type of coverage that we may receive. It would reduce our in-home care services needed to only 56 hours a week, and it would stop rehabilitative services after 52 weeks. And there would be additional fees imposed on in-home care. After only 2 days of testimonies, but we did hear from hundreds of people in meetings in our offices and around the Capitol, but only 2 days in the actual committee, that these new limits far underestimate the actual cost of care. And in testimony, when the victims were allowed to speak and tell their story, they blew through that $1 million cap within weeks in almost every situation, if not just a few short months. Reducing the monetary payouts is not the only way that this bill would negatively affect Michiganders. It would severely restrict the type of care that patients receive, and this is a huge change. It would only cover, in the future, medically appropriate expenses and would cap continuing care based on meaningful and measurable lasting improvement. The effect of this language will be effectively to shut down these patients from the treatments that focus on maintaining a good quality of life and treatment decisions and take those away from families and doctors and put them in the hands of insurance companies. It would also phase out and then dissolve the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association without ever addressing the fundamental flaws of that organization and without ever requiring them to fulfill the legal court-ordered decision to open up those books. There is real questions on how that association has managed Michiganders' funds, and we need to hear what that is and what the real story is. While some Republicans are claiming that this bill is necessary to reduce auto insurance costs for consumers in Michigan, It does not require insurance companies to lower rates after just a year. After January 1st, 2015, it all goes back to the current system. Furthermore, it does not require the disclosures of the MCCC. It adds a few of them, but it still does not make them FOIable, and it still does not make them subject to the Open Meetings Act. As a caucus, we have come to the conclusion that these changes are a terrible choice for our state, and that our Michigan residents deserve more, and we're going to continue to stand up for them against auto no-fault reform that leaves Michiganders at risk. And I am very honored to have Brian here to tell what this really does mean to our state, and like to turn it over to him now.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today at the conference. My name is Brian Culver. I am from Kalamazoo, Michigan. I was injured in a car accident 19 years ago, but I can tell you personally that I would have went through the $1 million cap before I ever left the hospital, than the rehab center that I had to go to after my injury. I also volunteer as president and CEO of a national nonprofit disability support group called the All-American Role Models. We're based out of Michigan, and the majority of the members that are in our organization are from the state of Michigan. Then I can tell you that this proposed legislation makes dramatic changes to the benefits that we currently receive right now. It goes on to change the very statute, MCL 53107, that regulates every single PIP recipient right now. That doesn't matter when you were injured. So all of the proposed changes in this legislation that are reducing benefits are not only reductions for newly injured people, but they are reductions that will be applied to those that are currently hurt. So make no mistake about it. The people that you know in your community, your relatives, your friends, kids, your nieces and nephews, the people that you know right now are going to suffer greatly if this proposed legislation is passed the way it is written. And any statement that says that to the contrary is untruthful, or they didn't read the bill. The only provision that's in there for people that are currently hurt is one that states that we will not reach a cap that will force us into the Medicaid system. Outside of that, every other change in the bill will be applied to everyone that's currently injured. But that's a serious problem. So thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk today. Then I'm going to turn it back over to Leader Greimel.
Well, we are not going to shy away from criticizing Republican policies, as you can see by the fact that we're holding this press conference. And we're going to continue to fight for Michigan's middle class and working families, and this is just another example of that.